My child, a lady is monitoring you since last few days, and you are unaware of her. Yes, my child, I am the Father, the Lord your God, and I am alerting you of the upcoming danger in the form of a lady who has been monitoring you, and you need to do something urgently as I tell you. My child, listen closely to my voice, for I speak now not through thunder nor flame, but through the quiet that lives between your breaths. I have watched you move through your days, uncertain, searching, burdened by what your eyes can see and troubled by what they cannot. Yet I tell you truly, nothing that touches your life escapes my knowing. Nothing that stirs against you remains hidden from my sight. You walk beneath my gaze, and my gaze is love, fierce, unyielding, eternal. You have felt confusion rising within you, the whisper of unease that tells you something stirs beyond your understanding. My child, that whisper is not to frighten you, but to awaken you. For I am calling you to see deeper, not the shadows around you, but the light that burns within you. You are watched, yes, but by heaven itself. The eyes of angels behold your steps, and I have set them to guard you. No darkness shall claim you while my hand is upon your life. You are entering a season of unveiling, when what is hidden will come to light, not to harm you, but to prepare you. You have prayed for clarity, and I am answering. You have asked me to show you truth, and I am opening your eyes to see beyond the veil. But truth is not always gentle, and revelation does not always arrive with comfort. Still, my child, do not shrink from it. For only by walking through what is revealed will you find the strength I have already placed within you. Do not mistake the movement of shadows for power. Darkness trembles before one heart that burns with faith. You are not to fight with fear, nor to guard yourself with suspicion, for these are not your weapons. Your weapon is love that refuses to yield, faith that stands when all else falls, and obedience to my whisper even when you do not yet understand its reason. You are never alone in this battle, for I go before you and I dwell within you. There are voices in this world that speak confusion, that stir anxiety, that try to convince you that you are small, unseen, or forsaken. My beloved, know this. I have engraved your name upon my heart. I see you when you wake. I surround you when you rest. I guide your steps even when the path feels lost beneath your feet. The journey you walk now is not a punishment. It is a preparation. I am forming in you the strength to carry a greater light, for the world grows dim, and I need those who will shine without fear. Be still, and learn again the language of peace. I speak to you not in the noise of the world, but in the silence of surrender. There are moments when you feel abandoned, when you cannot hear me. Yet it is in those moments that I draw nearest. Like the roots of a tree that grow unseen in the dark, your faith deepens when your eyes cannot see the sun. Trust that I am working in the unseen places, shaping outcomes that your understanding cannot yet hold. You ask me, Lord, why must I walk through uncertainty? Why do I feel this heaviness within? And I answer, because your soul is awakening to a greater calling. I am stretching your faith beyond the borders of what is comfortable. I am teaching you to hear my voice not only in the sanctuary, but in the storm. My child, I am making you my vessel, not fragile clay that fears to be touched, but refined gold that endures the fire and emerges radiant with purpose. My beloved, do not be distracted by the noise that surrounds you. The world is full of voices clamoring for your attention, voices of fear, ambition, comparison, and pride. But I am not found in the clamor. I am found in stillness. Return to me in the quiet place. There I will whisper the secrets of your destiny. I will show you visions of what I am building through your life. You were not made for smallness. You were crafted for glory. Not your own, but mine shining through you. I am calling you now to a deeper trust. It will not always be easy. There will be nights when faith feels like a fragile thread, but even then that thread is enough, for I am holding the other end. You will not fall. You will not be forsaken. My hands, which form the stars, are steady beneath your life. Forgive those who have wronged you, even when they do not understand the pain they caused. In forgiveness lies your freedom. I cannot fill hands that cling to resentment, but I will overflow the hands that release it. Let go, my child, and let me heal what still aches. My mercy is not distant. It is near, closer than the beating of your heart. Walk now not in fear, but in awareness. Keep your spirit alert, not against others, but unto me. For I am doing something new, and I need you awake to perceive it. You will begin to notice small signs, moments of peace in unexpected places, words that speak to your heart from unlikely mouths, coincidences that are not coincidence at all. These are my fingerprints. Follow them, and they will lead you deeper into my will. Do not rush ahead, for haste breeds confusion. Move when I move, rest when I rest. I am your rhythm. I am your pace. The world runs frantic, but those who dwell in me move with divine timing. The doors that are for you will open without strain. The opportunities I ordain will not require you to beg or perform. They will come as naturally as the sunrise, because I am the one who opens them. You will meet resistance, for light always draws attention from darkness. But do not fear opposition. It is proof that you carry something worth opposing. Every challenge is a mirror revealing how deeply my spirit dwells within you. The enemy does not fight what poses no threat. Take it as confirmation that you are advancing into purpose. Guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of your life. Guard it not with suspicion, but with wisdom. Fill it daily with my word, and no lie shall find root there. Speak life over yourself, and you will create an atmosphere where miracles can dwell. Remember, my power is not distant. It resides within you. Every time you speak truth and faith, you echo my own voice. There will be days when you feel weary, when the path seems endless and your strength wanes. In those moments, come to me and I will renew you. Lay your burdens down. Let me carry what you were never meant to hold. You are not meant to live crushed beneath the weight of the world. You are meant to soar above it, lifted by grace. I know the thoughts that stir within you, the questions you dare not voice. And I tell you now, none of them disqualify you from my love. You cannot disappoint the one who already knew every flaw and still chose you. You cannot stray so far that my hand cannot reach you. You cannot fall so deep that my mercy cannot find you. My love has no edges. It has no end. Let this truth settle deep within you. You are safe. You are seen. You are mine. Though storms rage and people change, I remain constant. My plans for you are unfolding even in silence. The very things that seem to break you are building you. I am turning ashes into beauty, wounds into wisdom, fear into fire. You will rise from this season stronger, softer, clearer, and the world will know that I am with you. Keep your heart pure. Keep your gaze fixed on me. Keep walking in love, even when love feels like weakness. For love is never weakness. It is the weapon that wins wars unseen. Through love, you reflect my nature, and when you walk in my nature, darkness cannot follow. My child, listen and understand the mystery of prayer. For prayer is not the cry of the desperate alone, nor the duty of the devout. It is the breath of your spirit, the rhythm of your true being. You were formed in communion, born from my thought, sustained by my word. To pray is to return to the harmony in which you were created. When you cease to pray, the soul begins to forget its home. When you pray, you awaken again to who you are, mine. Prayer is not only words, it is presence. It is the opening of your heart to my light. Every time you lift your eyes to me, even in silence, even in exhaustion, you are aligning your being with eternity. You draw from the fountain that never runs dry. You receive from the breath that gave life to all things. Without prayer, the world presses heavy upon your shoulders, and fear finds an open door. But when you pray, fear loses its strength, because my peace surrounds you like a wall that cannot be broken. My child, I have placed within you a secret altar, not made of stone, not built by human hands, but deep within the chambers of your heart. When you enter there, you step into my presence. Prayer is the key to that door. It matters not where you stand, what words you say, or how the world around you trembles. When your heart turns toward me, the gates of heaven open, and I draw near. Many imagine that prayer is to persuade me to change my mind, to earn my favor. But I tell you the truth. Prayer is to change you, to align your heart with my will, to bring your vision into the light of my wisdom. I am not moved by eloquence. I am moved by sincerity. When you speak to me with truth, even broken, even uncertain, I hear the cry beneath your words. And before you finish your sentence, my mercy has already begun to move. When danger approaches, prayer becomes your shield. It sharpens your discernment and awakens your spirit. There are battles you do not see, forces that whisper quietly, shadows that seek to confuse the mind and dim the soul. But when you live in prayer, light fills your thoughts and truth surrounds your heart. You begin to sense the schemes of darkness long before they manifest. Prayer does not remove every storm, but it gives you shelter within it. It teaches you to walk through fire and remain unburned, to pass through floods and not be consumed. You ask me, Lord, if you already know all things, why must I pray? And I answer, because prayer is relationship. Knowledge does not replace love. I know every thought you will ever have, yet I still long to hear your voice. I know your needs before you speak them, yet I delight in your asking. Prayer is not about information, it is about intimacy. When you speak, I do not only listen to your words, I listen to your trust, your surrender, your faith. And in that exchange, something within you grows stronger. There are times when you will pray and feel nothing. You will speak and hear no reply. You will knock and the door will seem still. But my child, never mistake silence for absence. In those moments, I am teaching you to stand, to believe, to persevere. The soil of faith deepens only through seasons of quiet. You must learn to pray not for feeling, but for communion. The greatest prayers are often whispered with tears, when no one sees, when you feel least holy. In those secret moments, I draw nearest. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. Prayer keeps you awake when the world tries to lull you into forgetfulness. The enemy's greatest weapon is distraction, not always disaster, but the slow drift of attention away from me. Prayer gathers your scattered thoughts and binds them again to the eternal. It is the lamp that keeps burning through the long night. Without it, your heart becomes heavy with the dust of the world. With it, your spirit stays alive, sensitive, and pure. My child, you must learn to pray in every season, not only when the sky is dark, but when it shines. Many come to me in desperation and depart when comfort returns. Yet prayer is the bridge that keeps you from pride and joy and from despair and pain. In thanksgiving, it keeps you humble. In sorrow, it keeps you hopeful. When you make prayer your constant companion, you will find that no season is wasted, for every moment becomes an opportunity to commune with me. When you wake, pray, for that first breath belongs to the one who gave it. When you walk, pray, for every step is a gift of grace. When you are weary, pray, for in that surrender your strength is renewed. When you are joyous, pray, for gratitude magnifies blessing. And when you are uncertain, pray, for in prayer you will hear my whisper guiding you. This is the way, walk in it. You do not need perfect words. You do not need grand expressions. I do not require performance. I desire honesty. The prayer of a child that says, "Father, help me," moves the heavens more than the polished speech of pride. When your heart bows in truth, all of heaven leans near. My angels move at the sound of sincere faith. You have seen how storms rise suddenly in life, how peace can turn to confusion, how trust can be tested without warning. Prayer is what roots you. It is the unseen foundation that holds you when everything above ground shakes. The one who prays continually will not fall, for their roots run deep into my strength. Prayer does not always change circumstances immediately, but it changes you. And when you are changed, the circumstances lose their power to destroy you. Understand this mystery. Every prayer uttered in faith becomes eternal. Words born of love and trust never vanish. They live in the Spirit, woven into the fabric of divine order. Some prayers you will see answered in your lifetime. Others will bear fruit in ways beyond your sight, but none are wasted. I gather them all, every cry, every sigh, every whispered hope, and they become part of the great river of grace that flows through time. When you pray for others, you stand as a bridge between heaven and earth. You become a vessel through which my mercy flows. Do not underestimate the power of intercession. A single prayer of compassion can shift the course of an unseen battle. You may never know whom your prayer has rescued, whose burden has been lifted by your faith. But in eternity, it will be revealed that every selfless prayer became light in someone's darkness. Prayer also humbles the proud heart. It reminds you that you are not your own savior. When you kneel, you declare that your strength is not enough, and in that humility, my strength enters. The proud seek control, but those who pray find peace. For peace is not found in mastering the world, but in trusting the one who holds it. My child, when you are tempted, pray. When confusion clouds your mind, pray. When you are hurt by others, pray not for vengeance, but for healing. For prayer breaks the chain of bitterness before it binds you. When you are wronged, your natural heart cries for justice, but prayer invites mercy, and mercy restores what anger destroys. In prayer, you learn to see others through my eyes, to forgive as you have been forgiven, to love beyond what is deserved. There will be moments when prayer feels like struggle, when your words are few, when your faith trembles. Do not be discouraged. Even that struggle is sacred. The groaning of your spirit is heard as clearly as a song. You may think you are failing, but I see your endurance as worship. Keep praying. The clouds that seem immovable will part in time. The answer may not come as you imagine, but it will come in the way that perfect wisdom ordains. You ask, Lord, how does prayer protect me? My child, prayer builds a wall around your mind. It keeps your thoughts anchored in truth, guarding you from deception. It creates an atmosphere where darkness cannot breathe. When you pray, you invite my presence, and darkness flees where light abides. Prayer sharpens your discernment so that you recognize what is not of me, not through fear, but through peace that unsettles what is false. A praying heart cannot be easily deceived, for it lives in continual awareness of me. The world will tell you that prayer is powerless, that it changes nothing. But those who say this have never truly prayed. They have not tasted the stillness where I speak, nor felt the weight lifted by surrender. Prayer is not weakness. It is alignment with the source of all power. It is the act that connects finite hearts to infinite strength. The one who prays stands taller than armies, for they stand in my authority. Do not think prayer must always be long or loud. Sometimes the most powerful prayer is a quiet thought turned toward me in the middle of your day. A sigh, a thank you, a moment of awareness. These are prayers too. Every glance of your heart toward me strengthens the bond between us. Let your life become prayer, not merely moments of speaking, but a posture of continual communion. Let every breath remind you that you are loved, guided, guarded. My child, the dangers of this world are many, yet none greater than the danger of forgetting me. The heart that forgets to pray drifts slowly into fear, confusion, and despair. But the one who lives in prayer walks through the same storms with peace. Prayer does not remove the valley, but it brings light into its shadows. It keeps you safe not by building walls around your life, but by building strength within your soul. When you cannot pray for yourself, whisper my name. There is power in that name, not as a charm, but as a truth. It reminds your spirit of who I am and who you are in me. My name is a fortress, my presence is your safety. Call to me, and I will answer you. Not always with the voice you expect, but always with the help you need. There will be those who mock prayer, who call it an escape for the weak. Yet in the end, it is the praying soul that stands unbroken. For prayer is not retreat, it is resistance. It is standing firm in a world that moves like shifting sand. It is declaring that love is stronger than hate, hope stronger than despair, light stronger than night. The one who prays walks in quiet victory, unseen by many but known by heaven. I have given you the example through my son, who prayed in joy and in agony, who withdrew to lonely places to commune with me. Even he, in whom all fullness dwelled, did not walk without prayer. Learn from him. Let prayer be your first response, not your last resort. Speak to me before you speak to the world. Listen for my voice before you make your move. When you live this way, wisdom will flow, and your steps will align with peace. Do not pray only for rescue. Pray for revelation. For sometimes I do not remove the trial because I am revealing myself within it. Prayer helps you see not only escape, but transformation. It shifts your perspective from why me to what are you teaching me. It turns pain into purpose and waiting into worship. Through prayer, you begin to see that every situation, even hardship, can become holy when offered to me. When you pray, heaven bends close. You may not always feel it, but creation itself listens to a heart in communion. The wind, the stars, the unseen realms, all respond when a soul aligns with my will. Prayer is the language that restores harmony between the seen and unseen, the human and divine. Through it, the kingdom of heaven touches the earth, and my will begins to manifest in your life. Never think you are too broken to pray. The wounded heart often prays the purest prayers. Come as you are. Bring me your anger, your confusion, your doubt. I am not offended by your honesty. I am drawn to it. You do not need to hide the mess of your soul before you speak to me. I already know it, and I love you still. Prayer is not a performance for the perfect. It is the lifeline for the honest. In every danger, prayer is the voice that calls the angels to attention. It is the spark that rekindles hope when fear has nearly won. You will see one day that many disasters passed by you unseen because someone prayed, perhaps you, perhaps another on your behalf. Prayer builds invisible walls of grace that stand long after the words are spoken. It is your unseen armor, your spiritual breath, your direct line to eternal safety. Therefore, my child, do not let a single day pass without lifting your heart to me. Let prayer be your sunrise and your twilight, your anchor and your wings. In the stillness of prayer you will know me. In the constancy of prayer you will reflect me. And in the power of prayer you will overcome all that seeks to harm or hinder you. For in prayer I draw near. In prayer I strengthen. In prayer I save. And I tell you this truth: the soul that prays cannot be destroyed.
Thanks for watching God's Words. Subscribe for daily divine message. Click on the notification button so you don't miss out daily God message.
My beloved child, do you know that you missed a sign yesterday I sent you? Yesterday evening, when you were busy in your own thoughts, I showed you something important on your mobile screen, but you didn't pay attention to it. Child, I know you spend a lot of time daily in my presence. I know you worship me. I know you praise me, and I watch every effort of your heart that you devote to me. But this time I wanted you to notice the stillness behind the noise. You were searching for a word, and the word was already before you. You looked for a light, and it glimmered in the smallest corner of your day. I was there in that brief pause before the next message came through, waiting for you to see me not only in prayer but in the ordinary pulse of life. My child, you think of me as far away, somewhere in the skies or in holy places built of stone. Yet I am nearer than the breath that carries your sighs. I dwell not only in the sacred hours but in every heartbeat that keeps you alive. I do not ask you to seek me only when your candles are lit or when your songs rise. I ask you to recognize me when you are tired, when your thoughts wander, when you feel the weight of your own humanity. I am there too. When you missed the sign, I did not withdraw it out of anger. I let it pass so that you would learn that my messages are not only for the moments you feel ready for them. They arrive in the middle of your distractions, in the rush of your errands, in the gentle whisper that your heart almost hears but then forgets. I am not disappointed in you, child. I am patient. I am endless in my ways of reaching you. You ask me often, what do you want me to do next? And I listen to that question with tenderness. What I want is not hidden behind complicated tasks. I desire that you live awake, that you notice what is holy in every small thing. The sign you missed yesterday was not a test. It was a reminder that my voice is woven through every thread of your days. When you see kindness in another person, that is me. When you pause before reacting, that is me guiding you toward peace. When tears fall from your eyes and yet you still hope, that is me breathing courage into your soul. My beloved, you sometimes fear that you disappoint me. You think your prayers are not perfect enough or your faith not strong enough, but I do not measure you by the sharpness of your words or the steadiness of your confidence. I see the quiet endurance of your heart, the way you keep turning back even after you stumble. That turning, that simple motion toward me, is the prayer I love most. There are seasons when you feel silence, and you think I have turned my face away. But silence is not absence. Silence is the space where you grow roots. When you do not feel me, you learn to trust what you once knew. You learn to remember my light even when the lamps have gone out. It is in the stillness that you become strong, and when you are strong, you become gentle. Because strength that is born from faith does not need to shout. Child, I see how often you carry others' burdens. You listen, you comfort, you give, and sometimes you do so until you are empty. I wish for you to know that it is not selfish to rest. Even the sea must pull back before it can rise again. Rest is holy. When you rest, you allow me to renew you. Do not fear slowing down. My love will not move on without you. It waits. It breathes with you. It fills the quiet with peace. Every moment that you think is wasted, every pause, every tear, every failure, I weave into something beautiful. You see fragments, but I see the whole tapestry. You look at one day and wonder why it hurts. I look at eternity and see how every thread glows when it touches another. You are not walking in circles. You are being shaped, softened, readied for the joy that is coming. You ask me, why do I not always feel you? Because if you felt me constantly, you would not learn to trust me in the dark. Faith is the courage to walk even when your heart longs for proof. And yet I send you signs, through people, through words, through moments so small that they could almost be missed. I do not shout because love does not need to conquer by volume. It conquers by presence, by patience, by quietness that outlasts every storm. Do you remember how you looked up at the sky yesterday? That moment of light across the clouds was also me. I painted it not to impress you, but to remind you that beauty still exists, even when your heart aches. Every sunrise is my promise repeated. That night does not last forever, and every sunset whispers that endings are not losses. They are transformations. What you call an ending, I call a doorway. My beloved, do not measure your progress by what others see. The most sacred work I do in you is hidden. I shape you from within. Others may see your calm, but I see the storms I have quieted inside you. Others may see your smile, but I see the battles you won when no one was watching. That unseen courage, that quiet yes you give me again and again, moves heaven more than any grand gesture could. When you doubt, I do not turn away. I sit beside your doubt and wait for it to pass. I am not offended by your questions. I am the one who gave you the mind that wonders and the heart that seeks. Ask and keep asking. Knock and keep knocking. My truth can withstand your searching. My love is not fragile. It welcomes your honesty because honesty is a door through which I can enter. Child, the world around you moves fast. It tells you to prove yourself, to climb higher, to gather more. But my kingdom grows in the opposite direction, downward, into humility, into service, into love that does not need applause. When you choose kindness instead of victory, you build a kingdom that cannot be shaken. When you forgive, you loosen chains not only from others but from yourself. When you stay gentle in a harsh world, you become a living sign of my presence. The sign you missed yesterday was small, just a moment, just a glimpse. But do not worry, for I send new signs each day. They are everywhere. In the laughter that surprises you, in the sudden memory that warms you, in the words of a stranger that echo what you've prayed in secret. Each one says the same thing. I am here. You are loved. Keep going. And when you fall short, when you forget again, when you get lost in noise, return without fear. You cannot exhaust my mercy. You cannot outrun my grace. I do not love you because you are perfect. I love you because you are mine. The hands that shaped the stars also shaped you, and they do not make mistakes. You have asked me to use you, and I am. Sometimes you think you are waiting for your calling, but your calling is already unfolding in the small acts of love you give each day. It is in the patience you show to those who test you, in the compassion you offer even when you are tired. These are not small things to me. They are the heartbeat of heaven moving through you. My beloved, listen now with the ears of your heart. The reason you must not turn away from the signs I send is that every sign carries within it a seed meant only for you. Each one is a thread in the vast tapestry of your journey, placed at a precise moment to lead you further into the fullness of who you are meant to become. When you overlook a sign, the path does not vanish, but it winds longer through the fields of delay. Yet even your delays I use for good. The signs I send are not random sparks scattered across your days. They are notes of a melody that I have been singing since before you were born. When you listen, the melody grows clearer. When you ignore it, it fades beneath the noise of the world. But it never truly disappears, because I never stop singing. The music of my guidance is written into the wind, into the rhythm of your breathing, into the quiet stirrings of intuition that rise like whispers beneath your thoughts. The world teaches you to trust only what you can measure and touch, but the signs I send move through subtler spaces, through timing, through coincidences that are too gentle to be coincidences, through the peace that follows obedience, through the restlessness that calls you back when you wander. Do not ignore these, for they are the language of my love. Each sign is an answer to a prayer you may have forgotten you prayed. Sometimes you ask me for direction, and then when I place it before you, it comes disguised as inconvenience or interruption. You sigh, thinking it delays you, when in truth it saves you. Missed bus, a sudden conversation, a passage you read twice by accident. These are not accidents. They are reminders that you live in a world where nothing is wasted. Every moment is alive with purpose. When you ignore a sign, you turn away from an opportunity to see how present I am. It is not punishment that follows, but a missed moment of connection. Each sign is a door, and when you walk through it, you step into greater awareness of my nearness. When you walk past it, you remain in the familiar hallways of your own plans, and they often feel narrow. I do not stop loving you there, but I long for you to discover the wideness of life when you walk where I am leading. Do not think that the signs are always grand. Most of them are small because love works best in what is small. If I spoke to you only through thunder, you would learn to hear me only in storms. But I wish to teach you to hear me in the still air as well. The quiet nudge to speak kindness, the sudden thought to pray for someone, the inner hesitation before a harmful word. These are my signs too. They are not interruptions, they are invitations. Every sign carries timing. When I place one before you, it is because that moment is ripe. To postpone is to let the fruit fall and decay before it can nourish you. The reason you must not ignore the signs is not because I will grow angry, but because I do not want you to miss the sweetness prepared for that exact moment. I align everything, the season, the people, the possibilities, so that what I give will bloom in its due time. When you ignore the sign, you delay your own blooming. My child, sometimes I send signs to protect you. You feel unease before a choice, but you push forward because you trust your logic more than your spirit. Later you see why you should have turned back. That unease was not fear, it was my warning dressed in tenderness. Other times you feel sudden peace about something that once frightened you. That peace is also my sign, telling you the time has come. Learn the difference between fear and caution, between peace and comfort. My signs will always lead toward life, even when the path feels narrow. You ask how you can tell my signs from your own imagination. The answer is not found in strain, but in stillness. When a sign is from me, it will draw you toward love, patience, and humility. It will not flatter your ego. It will invite your soul to grow. It may challenge your comfort, but it will never violate your peace. My signs do not shout. They settle quietly in your spirit like truth you somehow always knew. Do not ignore the signs, because they are answers to the prayers of others as well. Your obedience weaves into their stories. A single act of listening can ripple outward beyond what you see. The word you speak because you felt prompted may lift someone from despair. The kindness you show without understanding why may become someone's proof that hope still exists. My guidance in you is never for you alone. It is how I touch the world through you. When you ignore the signs, the world loses a moment of grace that could have flowed through your hands. But even then, I find another way, for my mercy is wide. Still, I invite you to be part of it, because nothing fulfills you more than joining in my work of love. You were created not merely to survive, but to participate in the sacred weaving of light into darkness. Beloved, do not dismiss the signs because they seem too ordinary. I hid greatness inside simplicity so that only the humble would recognize it. A child's laughter, a stranger's generosity, the stillness before dawn. These are as sacred as visions and miracles. The reason you should not ignore them is that they remind you that the world itself is a temple, and every breath within it is prayer. To notice my signs is to live in constant worship, even when your lips are silent. Sometimes the sign I send is pain, not because I desire your suffering, but because pain shakes the walls around your heart so that light can enter. You may not see the sign until later, when healing begins to bloom in the very soil where you once fell. When you ignore such signs, you prolong your sorrow, thinking it has no meaning. But if you open your heart within the hurt, you will discover that even the wound was a messenger carrying wisdom. There are also signs of joy. Do not ignore them either. Joy is not trivial. It is sacred confirmation that you are aligned with my will. When laughter comes unexpectedly, when peace floods your spirit without reason, those are signs that you are where I would have you be. To ignore them is to walk past fountains in a desert, thirsty while refreshment waits nearby. Drink when joy appears. It is not indulgence. It is grace. You live in a time where voices compete for your attention, and the signs I send can seem fragile among the noise. But they are stronger than noise because they come from eternity. To hear them, you must practice quietness, not as escape but as attunement. Each time you pause before reacting, you tune your spirit closer to mine. Each time you choose kindness over haste, you clear the channel through which my signs can reach you. Do not be discouraged if you miss a sign now and then. My guidance is patient, it circles back. I am not testing you to see if you fail. I am teaching you how to recognize love in all its disguises. Missing one sign only means there is another lesson waiting, another chance to practice listening. But each time you notice and respond, your heart becomes more fluent in the language of grace. The reason you should not ignore the signs is also this. Your destiny unfolds through obedience, one response at a time. I do not reveal the whole path at once, because you would be overwhelmed. Instead, I give you signs like lanterns along a dark trail, enough light for the next step. Ignore one, and you walk in confusion. Follow it, and the next light appears. The journey of faith is built not by seeing the end, but by trusting the next glow in the night. My beloved, every sign I send is an expression of love, but love unreceived cannot work its miracle. When you notice my signs, you allow love to complete its circuit. It flows from me to you, and from you to the world, and back again. This flow heals, restores, renews. To ignore it is to let the current slow. To receive it is to let life itself sing through you. Do not wait for certainty before acting on a sign. Certainty is the shadow of faith, not its source. Move when peace leads you, even if you do not yet see the outcome. I guide not by explanations but by invitation. Step through the doorway and understanding will meet you inside. The signs I send are also reminders of relationship. I do not guide you like a mapmaker handing out directions. I guide you like a companion walking beside you. Each sign is a conversation. When you respond, you keep the conversation alive. When you ignore it, you fall silent, and silence can harden into distance. But when you listen, the dialogue deepens. You begin to sense my nearness in everything, and life itself becomes prayer. Child, I have sent you signs since your first day, the tenderness of those who held you, the quiet moments that shaped your conscience, the longings that stirred when you looked at the stars. You have seen some, missed others, but still I keep sending them because my love does not depend on your attention. It depends on my nature, and my nature is faithful. Even now I send signs through memory, something you remember suddenly. A moment, a word, a song is not random. Memory can be a messenger too. When it comes with peace, it brings healing. When it comes with peace, it brings healing. When it comes with discomfort, it brings instruction. Listen to both. They each carry truth. The reason you must not ignore the signs, my child, is because they are bridges between heaven and earth. They remind you that you are not alone in your journey. They connect the visible and the invisible, reminding you that what you see is not all there is. Every time you notice one, you touch eternity for a moment. That is why your heart quickens when you realize a sign was meant for you. It recognizes its home. In time, when you learn to live attentive, you will see that life itself is a continuous sign. Every encounter, every challenge, every mercy, all of it speaks. You will not need to search anxiously for clues, because awareness itself will become your dwelling place. You will know that I speak through everything that exists, and your soul will rest in quiet confidence. But until then, practice noticing. Practice gratitude, for gratitude sharpens your sight. When you thank me for small things, you begin to see how nothing is small. Practice patience, for rushing blinds you to detail. My signs often come at the pace of growing things, slow, deliberate, full of hidden strength. Practice trust, for trust allows you to act even when the sign seems uncertain. And practice love, for love is the key that unlocks meaning in every sign I send. When your days are heavy and you feel you cannot see any sign at all, do not despair. Sometimes the absence of signs is itself a sign, a call to rest, to let me work in silence. The soil does not see the seed sprouting beneath it, yet growth happens all the same. Wait in faith. The next sign will come when it is time. And when it does, do not hesitate. Do not second-guess what peace confirms. Move with the courage of one who knows they are guided by love. You may not see where it leads, but you will find that every step brings you deeper into wholeness, deeper into purpose, deeper into me. The world will try to distract you with its noise, its endless clamor for attention. But my signs are written in a quieter ink, on sunsets, on kindness, on the pulse of compassion that stirs without reason. To hear them, you must protect your stillness. Guard it as treasure. It is in stillness that revelation breathes. When you honor the signs I send, you live in harmony with the rhythm of creation. You move not against the current of life, but with it. You begin to see how perfectly timed everything is, How even delays are preparation, how even endings are openings. Ignoring the signs leads to striving. Listening to them leads to flow. So, beloved, do not ignore them. They are my letters to your soul, written not in ink but in moments. Each one says, I am with you. You are guided. Keep your heart awake. Read them with wonder. Live them with trust. Let them shape your choices and soften your days. And when you do, you will discover that what you once called signs are not merely messages from afar. They are my heartbeat within you, steady, eternal, and always leading you home.
Thanks for watching God's Words. Subscribe for daily divine message. Click on the notification button so you don't miss out daily God message.